Down here today at S&P again, Complete Automotive in Port, and we're doing some repairs, I guess you'd call it, to the GU. A few things going on with it there today after I've smashed it around the bush for the last 6 months. So it's just in there now, going up on the hoist. We're doing all 4 corners of brakes, all the brakes on it, they're all screwed. We're fixing what I busted there last weekend in our Chichester State Forest. And while we're doing the front brakes and the axle hub, we're going to do the front wheel bearings as well, because they haven't been done on it. So it'll be a fair rebuild of that front end there. Give everything a full check over before we're going away on the school holidays in a week's time. And some brand new 35s on it. So some Maxxis Razor 35s. Gone with the Maxxis because every time I come here, Pat's giving me a hard time they don't have them because they sell and stock them here and reckon they're great tyres. Bloody expensive, but yeah, we'll give them a go. Proudly supported by Outback Equipment, Tread, Superior Engineering, and in part by So we're going to keep the best one there as the spare, as the 5th one. That one's still in pretty good condition. And this is the one I did have on as the spare, which is the one that was leaking, which is busted. It was leaking out of these splits in the side. Split there, split there. So I've been running no spare for the last couple of weeks, but we haven't been doing much. But yeah, keep that best one back on the spare so I didn't have to buy 5 because the new tyres are like $500 each. And that's the new ones there, 31575 R16, which is what my car is engineered for, that size in 35s. So these ones are Good Ride Mud Legends. Honestly, they haven't been too bad. They've been pretty good out the bush and all that sort of stuff, and they've handled it reasonably well. The only issue I've had with them is I've done 2 sidewalls on them now. They do have a bit of a thinner sidewall, and when you punish tyres like I do...
Feel how thick that is.
Yeah.
And how thin that is.
So that's going to be the difference with the new ones.
Gu Patrols.
Yeah.
Koyos or NSK, made in Japan. That's what you want to say.
Made in Japan.
Yeah. GMB or anything like that, made in China, no good. Put them in the bin.
So what's all that stuff there to go on it? So they're the bearings. What's in the blue box?
These are wheel bearings.
Yeah.
Left and right.
Yeah.
So outers, you have 2 bearings on either side. So inner, outer. Those are your hub seals. So the back of the wheel bearing keeps the grease in the hub and dirt out of it. What'd you find? I found
the hub's broken.
Yeah, that there, the splines are busted off, chewed off.
Yeah. So what's that? Is that the end of the axle, or that's part of the hub?
That's part of the freewheeling hub.
Yeah.
So it looks like this part is all right.
Yeah.
We'll have to clean that up and have a good look at it. The little snap ring has come off the end of the CV, probably in the midst of all of this happening.
Yeah.
It's pretty chewed up.
So where's the broken part? Is it in there or just on the end there?
No, see these here?
Yeah.
That should have teeth on it.
Yeah,
and see they're missing.
It's had
these
teeth come off.
These little broken pieces here. And this is all full of little broken pieces, see these?
So would that mean it's not engaging that axle properly?
Yeah, so when you lock this in to the lock position,
yeah,
that actually pushes out and contacts on there.
Yeah, okay.
So those teeth there mesh with those teeth there.
Yeah.
And because they're all missing,
yeah, it's just going to be...
They just spin.
Yeah, spin there doing nothing.
It's like having the hub unlocked. You sort of always need a weak point somewhere.
Yeah, and best to have that as the hub.
That's the easiest thing to change. If you're out on the tracks, 6 bolts and a snap ring,
yeah,
the hub's off. That's sort of like, I put RCVs in my car and whatnot. Never had an issue with that, and it just breaks up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep pulling it apart. We'll do these bearings. Look at that. Zoom in on that.
So that's the wheel bearing out.
Yeah.
How's it look?
Genuine, looks pretty good. Still full of grease. We'll change them anyway. Very important to check stub axles. So you want to look for heaps of wear around here, and where the bearings run. If the bearing has spun on there or on there, you're going to have big wear mark on it, and the bearings will be loose and they'll spin.
Yeah, okay.
On the stub axle.
So it's got a stub axle there, and then behind that, it's got a separate axle, your long axle. Like, are they two separate parts? Yeah. Yeah, you got stub axle, then you got your CV.
Yeah.
So that's the bolt that holds the caliper on. That's the first thing you undo.
Yeah, there's not really an order that you have to do it in, but yeah. And your bottom caliper bolt. Pull him off.
Pull that off.
Swing him out of the way.
And that's obviously, there's your brakes in there. So how do they look? They're still got a bit on them there?
Yeah, they've still got a bit of meat on them. Just an Allen key,
yeah.
It's just easy with the impact gun.
Yeah.
They're generally not super tight. You don't need them super tight. Just easy. See, on the other side, this little teeth thing, see how long the tooths are?
Yeah.
The teeth are?
Yeah, so that's fine on this side.
Yep. So you want to take that snap ring off? They're just like snap ring pliers.
Yeah, okay. So if I'm going to carry hubs, I should carry one of them tools.
You can do it with 2 screwdrivers. You can, depends how creative you are.
Yeah, okay.
That just gets a bit tight on there. Just slides over the end of the CV. This is your egg ring.
So when you buy a new hub, do you put all new stuff for that in?
Yes.
Yeah. So that all comes in a hub kit?
Yeah. Because we're pulling the wheel bearings apart. Just want to dig this out. This is just like a...
And do you replace that when you replace the hub, or that stays there?
This? No, that stays there. I'm only pulling that apart.
For the bearings.
Your bearings.
Yeah.
And then we have a tool. Obviously these 2 little dowels go into those holes in the adjusting nut. And then that's how you undo and do it up.
So is that
a lot of people probably aren't going to have that out on the tracks. Some people may not. You can just do it with a punch. These here weren't overly tight anyway, this one is. You could do it with a screwdriver if you're out on the tracks. Just give it a tap that way and that'll undo it.
Oh, and then it just winds out.
Just unscrews off. That's just to adjust the tension on the wheel bearings. Yeah. So same thing, like first quick inspection. These don't look like they've been overheated or anything. They're still full of grease, they're not full of water, so that's, good signs. Keep these for spares.
Yeah, okay. And then you just check that stub axle and clean it up a bit.
Clean it up a bit and we'll have a look at it, yeah. It's very important, often overlooked. There again, same thing. Like you normally feel like a big wear mark in them.
Yeah, they'll feel pretty clean through that. So why do they get wear marks? Is that if you're bearing...
If they've been driven on like loose, like with the wheel bearings loose, the bearing will move on there and it wears the stub axle.
Yeah.
So instead of actually spinning the bearing spins on the stub axle.
Yeah.
So like the inner section of the bearing should stay fixed on the stub axle.
Yeah, okay.
That's that. Easy. We'll go clean everything up and get some new bearings in hub.
So what's happening now though? Is that the rest of that bearing out?
Yeah, that's wheel bearing seal. Where's your other one?
So there's 2 of them, was there? Because didn't you pull something that looked the same as that out before?
A wheel bearing? Yeah.
And there's another one. Is that
there's an inner and an outer bearing.
Yeah, okay.
Inner in there, which is a bigger bearing.
Yeah.
And then the outer sits in that side, which is a little bit smaller.
Yeah. When you change one, do you just change both, or you might only change one?
Just change them both.
Yeah.
And then we got to clean all this old grease out of here, punch the bearing races out, put new ones in, grease it all, grease the bearings. We'll change the rotors while we're going, like the brake rotors. So they unbolt off there, off the hub. Makes it easier to handle now.
Yeah, so we got new rotors to go on the front there, the new discs, and then the Bendix 4-wheel drive brake pads.
That's the infamous egg ring that everybody tends to lose or overlook. And without that, your hubs don't work properly. Bearing races removed.
Yeah, so you got them out.
Hubs are clean. Just going to clean this face up now where the new rotor will sit. So you don't want to mix these up. I'll go smack these in. I can do one and you can learn.
Do it at the same time.
Yeah.
So what's that you got to smack in?
The bearing races, the new ones.
Or gently press in.
Yeah, we're going to press them in. So yeah, bearing punch and drivers. Not going to hurt the races. You don't want to damage in here where the bearing runs.
So you're going to need that kit to put them in. Or you need your so that's for all different size bearings, is it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it with a punch. You just have to be really careful with it.
So this is the start of the wheel bearing rebuild. So once you've pulled it all apart, cleaned everything up, first thing going back in is your racer bearing.
Yeah, bearing races.
Yeah, wrong way. I got the words the wrong way around.
That bearing basically sits up against the lip in there, and when it's all the way home, you feel it. So I don't know if you can see that edge there. It's all the way.
Yeah, so you're just hitting it till it gets all the way to that lip.
Yes.
And obviously got to be even.
Yes. That's the idea of like the round thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so now the other side goes in.
Yeah.
So and is that what the bearing sits inside those things?
Yes. Yeah, the bearing runs on those.
Yeah. That's your out.
Change the noise.
Yeah. So that's the outer one.
Yeah.
Yeah, outer, inner.
Inner and outer.
Then bearing sits inside them. I'll be a qualified mechanic by the time I leave here.
Pretty much, yeah. Sign him off.
Yeah.
Wheel bearing king.
Yeah.
Got to be careful. See that looks good. No damage. That's what you want. I'll give you the easy side.
So it goes obviously that lip down.
Yep. Sit your tool in there so it only goes that way.
Yeah.
There's a nice hammer.
Everybody just give it a feel.
You'll feel it. Still be going.
Needs to go further, eh?
Yeah.
Bit uneven there too.
So when you hit the punch, try and hit the punch like flat.
In the middle.
See if you can just maybe do this and try and even it up. I'll let you finish it, give it one, and you'll hear it. It's changed tone.
Yeah, okay. You can hear it hitting.
Because
You can hear it hitting that metal there. You can hear that like metal ting.
Yeah. Gonna work out that one.
Yeah, okay. I'll mess the next one up too. So
Do you want me to start it?
yeah, you started even, I guess.
Yeah. Send him home.
Keep smacking it.
Keep going. Yeah, you're nearly there, I think. I think it's changed pitch. Yeah, see, that's home. If you're not sure, give it another hit.
I'm going to hit it again.
It's not going to hurt it. That's aluminium. Your punch is aluminium. You're not going to hurt that with that. That's home. See, straight away you hear the noise.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore would say she's home.
Yeah.
You're too good for your home.
Yeah, you get all that bits of
aluminium
come off it. That don't matter. Like,
we'll blow that out.
Blow it out. Yeah.
That's why I haven't done any grease near anything.
Blow that.
You don't want to contaminate it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Do all the dirty stuff. Probably should have safety glasses on, shouldn't I? Instagram. 20 litres of grease.
You'd be able to pack a couple of bearings with that.
Get a few done. So we'll start with these big inner bearings, eh?
So am I doing one at the same time?
Yeah, you want to grab one? What you want to do is make sure you got pretty clean hands.
Clean now.
And then with one hand, decent amount of grease and put it up here on like the palm of your hand sort of thing. Yeah. You want to grab this bearing like that sort of thing. And the idea,
Wait.
just somehow like that, however you want to hold it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you've got it on that sort of angle.
Yeah.
Is you want to ram the grease through the rollers. So like imagine the grease is going like between
into there.
the cage and like the inner bearing race and the rollers.
In that gap.
Yeah, so basically I hold it like that and drive it into like this section of your hand. And you'll see the grease. See how it's starting to come out between those rollers?
Yeah. So you just do this all in the one spot, you don't move it around?
You have to move it around and do every roller. So see that? See that there? That's coming through.
Yeah.
And you can get your grease. Keep going. We have machines that do this now. Like there's tools that do this.
Yeah, you just
but when you're in the bush,
you're just showing me the hard way to do it.
Yeah. Well, when you're in the bush and you have to do one, you're not going to have the tools.
Don't have the machine for it.
So.
And then what do? Do you scoop it back out the middle there as it goes through a bit?
Yeah, you can if you get a bit hungry and eat it all. So see, I've packed round here.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway done. How you going?
I'm about no done.
You need to ram it in, so you want to drive it in like that. So, and when you get quick, it doesn't take you long at all. That's how you pack a bearing by hand.
So is that it coming through there now?
It's hard to say because you've got grease everywhere, but if you give it a couple of good ones, it makes like those good noises. See that?
Yeah.
You getting some action?
I'm trying. I just got a message.
You've just got a mess everywhere is what you've got. Look at your head. So here, camera, coming out. I don't know what he's doing. She's done anyway. Mine's well and truly done. It's been packed twice over. I'm still trying to show you. I'm going to get a different bearing and see if I can show you. I'm going to just sit that down there in his hub.
Should I clean up a bit and then redo it?
We'll put it in the bearing packer. Okay. Just to be sure, because I can't see what you have and haven't done. It's too hard. I just thought I'd show everyone how to do it on the track. That's how you do it.
Yeah, okay.
Getting a bearing like this. So many people make the mistake of going, "Oh, I did my own wheel bearings." Yeah, I packed my bearing for this new bearing. They put it in their hub. Oh yeah, wife a bit of grease. She's good to go. Bearing fails in not long.
And then you got special people like me.
Okay, couple of Ks, bearings overheated. It's no good. Yeah. Throw it in the bin.
Anyway,
sit that in that hub. There's a rag for your hands. Clean yourself up, boy.
So I'll need some practice before I can do it on the side of the tracks.
I'd say. Saves you a lot of mess. You see ya? Bearing in there. That's full of grease. You get that. You give it to her. And then you fish him out. Look at all the grease that's come through there.
Yeah, okay.
Heaps easier, eh?
Yeah.
Was that your one?
Yeah.
Let's just give it a little hit in here.
So maybe I'm going to do one on the side of the tracks. I need one of them.
You buy one of these machines, yeah. I reckon it's time for smoke. What do you reckon, boys?
Nah, I reckon some was coming through. I just made too much of a mess to see.
To tell where it started and stop.
Was it just coming through the centre?
Or just going everywhere?
He just had it everywhere. He had like a ball in this hand and a ball in that hand. I don't know what he was doing. Rear pads, got your money's worth.
Yeah, they're nearly gone, hey?
That one there, look at how thin. She's
right on the edge.
Paper thin.
It didn't get metal to metal, but did it?
Nah.
So it didn't damage the...
Hasn't damaged the rotor?
The rotor's fine.
So the difference in thickness.
Yeah, big difference there.
It's as easy as just pop them in there, slide them in. We'll push the pistons back and we'll grease these caliper slides up.
Brake parts lubricant.
So just clean that up. Fresh bit of grease on there. Nah, these are the slides for the caliper, so it allows the caliper to clamp onto the pads when you brake.
Yeah, okay.
They need to move freely. So if they're seized in there, you'll end up wearing your pads crooked or like pads uneven. Bit of grease around the hub seals.
Now's the part you're saying make sure put it the right way.
Yeah, often we see them come in and they're backwards like that.
from a home job.
Yeah,
And then
should
they
be
don't,
like that.
and then they don't seal properly.
Don't seal properly, and wheel bearings are full of water or dirt or mud or whatever it be. And I only did my wheel bearings myself a month ago. Yeah, well now they're no good, and your hub seals were in backwards. That's probably why. Fancy disc rotors. They say they improve, you know, stopping power, shorter braking distances, all that crap, because the brakes aren't getting as hot. So
See how it feels.
less
driving.
brake fade, all that sort of jazz.
Then we got the Bendix rotors on now. So rebuild all that front here on the bench, then we can put it back on. Loctite?
Yeah, just a bit of Loctite.
What's the reason for Loctiting them?
Just habit. If you don't want them coming loose, you probably don't really need to. We all know how you treat your car.
There's nothing I can't break.
Look, you give it a red hot go. Run those in with a rattle gun. We'll torque them up.
That way.
Yep. When we put them on the car, brake cleaner, the rotor, get all our greasy hands off them.
Yeah, egg ring back in there.
Yeah, the
And
outer
you've
bearing.
dropped that outer
Yeah.
bearing in there. So which drop the bearing in and then the egg ring.
Yeah, that's ready to just slide him straight on. They're sitting on there, everything's washed up, ready to go.
All those parts are the cleanest you've ever seen them after my job on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this
Tyler's
have you
clean
got-
up. So what I'll do, put the pads in here, like we're going to push the pistons back, clean the caliper slides, lubricate them, put the new pads and the caliper and everything back together, put the caliper back on, and then basically we adjust up the wheel bearing. I like to do it with the wheel on and sort of demonstrate what you would be doing on the tracks, basically. We'll wind these back.
So it's that piston being pushed back out. So because the brake pads are so worn,
The pistons
it's
are out a
sitting
long
in
way.
and it's not going to fit back on unless you push it out.
Yes, yeah, so we've got to push the pistons back.
So there's the caliper back on, fresh pads in there, fresh rotor.
I've just put the adjusting nut on loose,
Yeah.
just to stop it falling off. These 22s that we undone up here, these are tight.
Yeah. Yeah, the top and bottom 22mm nut
Bolt,
bolt.
they're tight.
Yeah.
So that way you can literally just put the wheel on and you can do all of that through the wheel.
Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
So we just paused the front end so that we can fit all these 4 new tyres to the 4 rims. Pat's just over there doing the last one now. I'm just getting these back ones on. Then we'll get the 2 on the front end, tighten up those bearings, get those hubs back on. And I think that's just about it done. I've already absolutely smashed these rims. They've been really good, but they were black, they're going silver.
All the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quit. Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. You better move, you might.
It's actually not that bad. It's a little bit loose.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't
It's already
adjusted
pretty
that.
tensioned.
Correct way with this, as I said earlier, those into there. You're out on the trails, you probably don't have that. Let's just forget that. Punch, you're probably going to have something, screwdriver, flat blade screwdriver. And then do it up, you know, have a feel.
So you
Hey.
just get that screwdriver in the hole and just punch that around a bit.
Yeah,
just
not
to
on
get
the
that-
threaded holes, but there's 2 big holes that have nothing in them.
Oh yeah, on the 2 big ones.
And yeah, so I generally over tighten them a little bit, and that sort of seats the bearing onto the stub axle.
Yeah.
Make sure it's all happy, and then back it off a little bit. And that's her. Like, you grab the wheel. There's no free play. a little bit of tension on them. Like new bearings, they're going to be a bit tighter anyway.
Yeah. See, before it was that bit loose when you moved it. Now it's good to go.
So like you can turn it to there and go, oh yeah, that one's up with that. Oh yeah, that one. And in she goes. One there. One there. And use a screwdriver that fits. So many people just make mincemeat of it. Makes it a bad time for the next poor bugger who's got to do it.
And then your third.
Yeah, push
ring
that
on.
in. Look at that, a non-broken.
Yeah, it's our new one.
And then on she goes.
So that's what I need to get, some snap ring pliers.
Yeah, it just makes life so much easier. So that's on there. Can't push that CV in upon further inspection.
Yeah, so you can see on that one, it chipped all those teeth there too.
Should look like that.
Yeah, so we couldn't get away with just putting that other bit in. That's all busted. And there's a fresh one that you had
Ready to go.
ready to go, lucky. Ready to break more stuff. So we're back to four-wheel drive or four wheels getting drive after 2 weeks of three-wheel drive. Be all ready for the next couple of big trips now. We're just going to put it back up a bit and do a full check over of underneath and make sure it's all good. But yeah, fresh brakes, fresh bearings, fresh hub. What I'm going to do as well is Pat actually ordered me a couple of spares, but they hadn't turned up yet, so that's why lucky he had one lying around he just put in. But once those two turn up, I'm going to keep them in the car now. I'm going to get the tools you need, which is just an 8mm Allen key, snap ring pliers, and then a little bit of bearing grease. And then that's sort of the weak part on the driveline on these patrols is the hubs, and they're the easiest thing to change out. You can change them on the side truck in 5-10 minutes. So I'll keep a couple of spares in, keep the tools needed, and then hopefully if I break something, it's a hub and I can fix it.
See that tile?
Yeah, what?
Best filter.
Donaldson?
Only a Donaldson, mate.
We're just giving everything a good check over and clean up underneath before I head away on this next big trip. So decided just to do the sump oil and oil filter while we're here, check all the suspension, grease, the drive lines, and yeah, it's all looking not too bad under here. Still need to clean it properly, mud up under there everywhere. A couple of the radius arm bolts were a little loose. Back out the front here, just gave a little wash off and clean there all underneath. Still mud coming off it everywhere. I'm gonna have to try and give this thing a proper clean somehow. I've hosed it off about 5 times underneath after the last couple of trips and still just seems to be mud everywhere, but yeah, it's all much fresher now, ready to go. She's fairly bloody scratched up. I'm a bit harsh on these vehicles, so maybe try and get a cut and polish at some stage, but also there's not really any point because I'm just going to scratch it up again. But I'm going to try and give it a good wash and polish at home over the next few days. Back again a few days later, and we're doing a couple of things on the nav today, getting that ready as well for an upcoming trip in the upcoming Sydney 4x4 show. So I figured I'd just film the few bits and pieces that we are doing. We're doing some new brakes on it too, so we've got the ultimate 4-wheel drive brake upgrade kit. Comes with the new rotors, pads and a few other bits and pieces, and that's going to be going on the front. So we're just doing the front, and then we've just cleaned up the rear a bit. It had a fair bit of mud and crap in there. The next thing is finally getting a tow bar with recovery points down the back of the nav because it hasn't had any recovery points on it and it can't tow. It's a tag tow bar and it's a high mount one, so you don't lose really any clearance having it on there. And I got that through Outback Equipment. The plan will be that I'll hopefully do a couple of towing trips in the nav in the future as well, just for a bit of variety. I'm not going to tow with the canopy on because we'll just end up snapping the chassis or something. I'll put way too much weight on this thing, but what I'm thinking is take the canopy off and then just run it as a tray, because you can jack that canopy off, run it as a tray, and then yeah, do a couple of towing trips with it, which I thought would be cool as well. So that's the reason for that, plus getting the recovery points too. And since I am towing, hence the brake upgrade, so it pulls up better too. I've never actually upgraded the brakes on this thing, which Probably a good idea given the weight with the canopy on the back. And then the last thing doing is new 33s on it. So that's what I did run for 18 months, the Falcon Wild Peak Mud Terrains. We've still got a bit of tread on them, but they are getting worn. Great tyres, them, had no complaints, no flats. Been a good set of tyres. And then this time I'm trying the Maxis, the same as what I recently put on the Patrol, but we're going like an aggressive all-terrain just to try something different. And you know, because the Patrol's doing the harder wheeling now anyway, figured it'd be good to try something different. And then why have I gone with the Maxis? Well, once again, it's just because that's what Pat does here at SMP. So I figured, you know, got the Maxis muds on the Patrol, the all-terrains on the nav, and then next time I'll try something different. I don't know, next time maybe try like Nittos or Toyo or something. So just try and work through all the brands and see how they all go. But that is the main three things that we're doing today, so we'll get cracking into them and get them done. And then both my cars will be ready to break on the next few trips.
Please do not text to me. I'm trying to get it. Working to become the best of me. I'm doing my job. That includes whipping and keeping the recipes. I cannot stop. I gotta get it till legends are next to me. Till legends are next to me. Ay, please do not text to me. I'm trying to get it. Working to become the best of me. I'm doing my job. That includes whipping and keeping the recipes. I cannot stop. I gotta get it till legends are next to me. Till legends are next to me. Okay.
Can't have them if I can't fit them.
I bet on myself. I promise to people who hate it. And I don't know from the other side like their name was Adele. I cannot stop. That's from the box state to the east side to the coast. I'm catching every face, talking every day to the Mitch and Jay with the goat.
There's mud in the back. Look at that.
That'll be Cape York, Fraser Island, Tasmania.
Going back through the green dome now.
You'd sell that for $100
You could?
in a jar. Tyler
Yeah, I was
Thompson's
gonna say.
Australian dirt collection.
Australian dirt collection.
So I got the new tyres on, the 33s. They're a 285/75 R16, and as I said, they're the aggressive all-terrains of the Razor ATs. Front brakes are done, so we got the new rotors. I should have done this before we put the wheels on. You can't see properly. Rotors, pads, and then we put the braided brake line on up there, back there too. Braided brake line just being stronger and handle bush conditions better. And now the brakes and tyres are done. I'm keen to test these brakes out. When we did them on the Patrol, testing that a bit, they're definitely much better. And now we're doing the rear bar on the back there. So pulled that plate off, which is just to cover up the chassis rails. Had to clean them out because there was a fair mess in there. Now we'll start putting it on.
Do not text to me. I'm trying to get it. Working to become the best of me. I'm doing my job. That includes whipping and keeping the recipes. I cannot stop. I gotta get it till legends are next to me.
Back home, it's all done now. Fresh brakes, fresh tyres. Got the rear bar on. So there it sits there. You obviously do lose a little bit of clearance with it. Once you take the tow hook off, that's going to be the first thing it hits. Take that off when you're not towing, and it still be all pretty good there. Going to have to finish getting it wired up at some point. We've put that piece back on there to cover the chassis rails, and that's where the rear camera sits. And then we've got the caravan plug there, so the 7-pin one, which will my camper trailer plug into. But then also need to get an Anderson plug one out. Anderson plug one put on to hook my camper trailer up to, which will be what will charge the dual battery system in it while I'm towing. So you need to get those couple of things when you get like some sort of tow bar on. And then the third thing I need will be the electric brake controller. So I'll probably go see Hastings Auto to put one of them in. They put one in the Patrol, just put like a Red Arc Tow Pro Elite or whatever they ask. That way you got, you control the brakes on the trailer as well. And when you brake the car, the trailer brakes at the same time rather than the car trying to brake the car and the trailer. Brakes have been bled after the new braided brake lines went on, and then Sean took it for a drive to bed the brakes in. I didn't actually know you had to do that, so he said you have to take it for a few laps around the block. I can't remember the exact process, but it was like 60 down to 40 and then 40 down to 20 or something like that. Give it a few medium braking, and they said for the next few days, like, just don't go super soft, but don't go too hard on the brakes when you first get them, because it can warp them. And then you end up instantly wrecking them, and they get warped, and you get the vibrations and stuff when you're braking. So yeah, when you first get new brakes, go a little bit gentle on them for the first 100 k's, 200 k's, whatever it is. Just nice medium braking without going too soft or too hard. Also, how's this? Pretty cool. You get a box with your Bendix brake upgrade. It's like a esky in there, full clippable esky, and it has a drain plug on it somewhere there so you can let the water out. And I got a bit of brake fluid now, and some brake cleaner, some brake lubricant, a few little extra bits and pieces there. Yeah, I actually reckon I'll take that camping. It's maybe a food box or something. It's got a little beer lid opener thing on it there. Alright, hopefully everyone enjoyed this video. A few upgrades there to the Patrol and Nav, all the bits and pieces going on. So we're going to be at the Sydney 4x4 show with these two vehicles, whenever that is, the 22nd through to the 24th of July. And then Outback Equipment helped me out with that rear bar for the Nav. They always support the channel and what I do. And they've got a pretty good deal going on them at the moment if you are interested in a rear bar, those tag ones. They're doing for a whole heap of different vehicles, or different four-wheel drives. But if you're interested in one off Outback Equipment, I'll pop the link down below. There's a link here that'll get you this deal. So you get a free jump starter with the bar, tag jump starter. So it says there, battery jump starter, wireless charging, built-in USB ports, and up to 30 jump starts in a single charge. So yeah, sweet little deal there if you're in the market for one. Alright, that's it. Might see some of you guys at the Sydney 4x4 show. I will be at the Melbourne one too, about 5-6 weeks. Well, maybe it's only a month after the Sydney one.